Yeah, hello, my name is Barbara Baez, and my son, I have two boys in Compass Charter right now. And so one is just starting first grade and one is starting third grade. We came to Compass Charter a little over a year and a half ago. We pulled my son from public school right in February, right before March and everything closed down anyhow. So we came at just the right time. Um, and so my son has special needs. He has autism, and so we work closely with the school, with the IEP team, and there has been tremendous growth from my kiddos in Compass Charter School. So being able to individualize everything for our kiddos has just allowed them to soar. And so it's been really great to watch them, especially my son with autism, since his IEP was previously in the school district at a brick and mortar. It was all behavioral. It was all just how to keep him safe in the classroom and absolutely no learning goals. But now at home, he doesn't have that anxiety anymore, and he's able to actually learn and grow and actually focus on the academics. In Compass, Charter has done everything literally in their power to support him. And so it's really beautiful when you see that continuity come together and how great kids can grow. So I think the biggest thing that sets Compass apart is the excellence in education. And I mean, truly excellence. Every single team member for my kiddos are rooting for their success. And they really look at how my kids learn. And they do this for all their students. They send out assessments to see how does your kid learn best. And then from there, they help you choose which specific curriculum is going to work best for your kiddo. And nothing is ever permanent. You have the fluidity to change things each and every day. And I think that that's what has helped my kids grow the most is being their mom. I know them the most. I also know what they're capable of the most. And when they're not putting their best foot forward, which can sometimes happen. Um, and also what we need to do to make it so that they enjoy learning. And so that's probably the biggest thing, is that my kids truly love learning. And it's beautiful to watch and to be such an integral part of it, in teaching them how to read, because I've got the younger ones. So we're homeschooling literally from the ages of them learning all of their foundational skills. And Compass supports it at such a broad level. And when you have that continuity, now speaking specifically for my son with autism, in the public school, which this is a public school, but in the brick and mortar, when he was going on campus, I had no say in how his speech therapy was going, or how his occupational therapy was going, or how the classroom is going. But at Compass, I'm an equal part of the team, the IEP team. And it's so amazing when we have everybody on the same page, the progression just, he soars. He soars. And not only does he do that, but he loves doing it. And so versus before, he was having meltdowns every day and going to school, just meltdown after meltdown. He wasn't safe in the classroom. He was having behaviors, aggression towards others, aggression towards himself, eloping, running away. He had to have one-on-one assistance just to keep him safe in the classroom. And that's not even talking about any educational goals. So coming over to Compass was the best decision that we could have made. And it was something that I made almost spur of the moment when I kind of got to my wit's end with his IEP, in that our ultimate goals for him were so far from being met. Like, we couldn't even touch on academic goals at the time. And now when at the public school, in the brick and mortar, he was not being able to learn. He wasn't in an environment where he could learn because he was being overstimulated by all the different things. He's very sensitive to sensory stimulus. And so being in the classroom setting just triggered him up, and we couldn't get anything out of him. That was in the first grade. We pulled him and we brought him over to Compass. And in the first grade, he was able to do multi-digit multiplication at home, versus he couldn't even do simple addition in the classroom. But once you can get him calm, and just in an environment surrounded by love and, nurturing every aspect of his little human being, he was able to do all sorts of amazing things. And that's when we realized, okay, you have this in you. Let's see, what do we need to do to pull that out of you? And that's when we could be flexible and we can move around. And if we need to do school outside today, or if we need it to be quieter today, all the different things, we have that ability to adjust for him and really individualize his education. And I truly believe, this is a quote that I read, it's just to my core, is that every child deserves to be met where they're at and challenged to go further, no matter where that spot is. And I know grade levels and whatnot are just so broad, but with Compass, we can truly, it doesn't matter what grade you're in, they're going to meet you where you're at and challenge you to go further. So you can just be like your absolute best. And I see that firsthand. So it's beautiful. So Compass Charter helps our kiddos with individualized education, like I was saying. And so one way that they do that is my son with autism has had educational testing done, and he has a lot of splinter skills. And I'm going to say that I don't think that splinter skills are something that are specific to autism, but they're often commonly found in kiddos with special needs. And by splinter skills, I mean they score really high in certain areas and then really low in another area. And it can be the same subject. It can be language arts, or it can be math. And you have one kiddo that needs multiple different curricula to meet their specific learning needs. And Compass gladly provides that, and they help you assess what do they need. So with Compass, we're able to meet him exactly where he's at. And he doesn't have to fit into the box that certain curricula companies expect them to fit into. It's okay. We can supplement. We can use part of this curriculum and part of that curriculum, and we can use it to meet him exactly where he's at and challenge him to go further. So that's not something that we were able to do when we were in a brick and mortar school with a classroom of 35 other first graders. It just wasn't possible. And in his situation as well, when he was in the brick and mortar, he wasn't able to even get to the point of learning. Versus at home, we can individualize his education with Compass. Compass will provide him with the sensory equipment that he needs, if he needs that in order to meet his learning needs. If he needs specialized anything, they provide that for him, just the same as an IEP in a brick and mortar does. It's almost identical, except for the differences that Compass Charter truly, from the bottoms of their being, are rooting for the kiddos. Versus in a brick and mortar, the IEP is not the same. An IEP in a brick and mortar is something that is stressful. You dread going into, if a kiddo needs 30 minutes of speech therapy a week, sometimes that can be a fight because the district is looking at all different other things that are not your kiddo. Compass is looking at your kiddo. They want to make sure that your kid's needs are not only being met, but they're being met exceptionally well. So I would definitely describe Compass Charter School as gold standard in education, in learning, in experience for the kiddos. And in curriculum, we are able, like I said, to just go ahead and dive in deep and meet him in all of those different splinter skills. From language arts, he is a very solid reader. But when it comes to inferencing and comprehension, again, that autism part makes it a little difficult. But rather than holding him back altogether, multiple grade levels that a brick and mortar would do, we're able to actually still develop and foster the skills that he's good at, as well as the skills that he's not as good at. And we can make it enjoyable for him. So I believe that they are truly, gold standard when it comes to that. Yeah, absolutely. So my top three with Compass Charter, I would say, is absolutely kindergarten graduation. That is something that not everybody got to have this past year with COVID. And Compass does make it feel like a family. Compass Charter School, you are part of a family. And so we got to still have a Zoom kindergarten graduation. They sent us his certificate in the mail. They sent us the, different, they do such a fabulous job. Compass Charter School does such a fabulous job at honoring their students and encouraging them and awarding them and recognizing them. And so they don't only foster that education, but they foster that self-confidence, and they're so great at encouraging our kiddos. So kindergarten graduation was one of my top three with Compass Charter School. Another one is just being able to have the opportunity to work with our kids at their specific levels. I know I was saying about the splinter skills, but my other son, he doesn't have autism, and now he's going into the first grade. He had his kindergarten graduation, but he's working at a third grade level for all of his subjects. And so versus having to make him do something that he could do and he's terribly bored with, we have the opportunity to flow with him. And if he wants to do 5 lessons in a day, we can do that. And so him entering first grade starting tomorrow, he's already at a third grade reading level, a solid third grade reading level. And so that is probably, one of my ultimate top experiences with with Compass Charter School is watching him thrive. Both of my kiddos are thriving, but it's just beautiful to see when you can truly follow your kid and you can allow them to get lost down a rabbit hole of an interest and make it educational. And then you can move your language arts to base around that, or you can move your science to base around that. And you can really let them have a say in what they're learning and how quickly they're learning it. Now, we have multiple different checkpoints, of course, with Compass Charter School, with our teachers and making sure that we're staying on track with things. But from my experience, it's the kids will blow right past that. Like you want them to do one thing, and they will. You expect something from them, and they show me that they're capable of so much more. And so being able to watch that and experience that with my kiddos is priceless, and being able to foster that and help them. So that's, I would say, our top experiences. And I would say also that our IEP meetings are among my top experiences too, because previously going into IEP meetings in a brick and mortar school, it was dread. It was like, okay, I need to load up on coffee. Lord, give me the patience because I'm working with people who don't truly care about my kiddo. And coming to Compass, they will give the world to your kiddo if they need that. If your kid needs speech therapy, there's not a question, there's not a fight. They will give your kid speech therapy. If they need occupational therapy, they give your kid occupational therapy. There's no fight. And it just, my first meeting when I went into it, like ready to go, I'm like, okay, here I am. Here I am. And they were just like, all right, we see that he needs this. So here you go. And I was like, that easy? What? Oh no, they actually care about the kids. And so anything that he needs, they supply it, they support him in the utmost. And so just experiencing that family community, that continuity between all of his different services, his teacher, his IEP coordinator, his case manager, everybody just working together, kind of rooting for them. So it's beautiful to watch.